But the two stories that I do remember fairly well, one of them I remember fairly well. Him and his younger brother Kai, who we hope will come in here in a little bit, they went on a duck hunting adventure. And if you've been with Jeremy on a duck hunting adventure, such as Christy and Eric have, you know they're not just simply just go out, shoot at a couple of ducks, come back, have dinner, and it's over. Well, I don't know if it's a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, but him and Kai decided they would go duck hunting. They said, oh, and by the way, it's about 2:30. We'll be back at 5:30, and would you make us a clam dinner? Oh, sure, no problem. So, and at our house, you just go down a half-mile down the river and throw your boat in and go a quarter-mile around the island where they duck hunt. Well, about 5:30, there's no Jeremy, there's no Kai. So his mother gets a little concerned, like usual. And, but our niece drives into the driveway with her family and says, I hear there's clam dinner. And we go, well, Jeremy on the island, I don't know how he did this, but somehow he contacted his niece either before or however, and they were invited for clam dinner. So Shelley just throws another potato in the pot and gets it ready. Well, 6 o'clock, nobody's back still. Then she really starts worrying. If you're a mother, you know what happens next. Your husband, go find him. You know, that's just the words that always come out. You got to find him. Well, you know it, you don't argue. You get your flashlight, you try and figure out how you're going to get down. And the best I could do is go down to the river, shine a light, see if I see any other lights. Well, there was no light, so I come back and report. Nobody's there. Just start the dinner, we'll get it going. Well, about 7 o'clock, this is an hour and a half later, in walks Jeremy through the yard with nothing on. Now you get that in Finland, but a pair of chest waders. Now I don't know how he ended up in chest waders, but I'm sure Eric and Christy can testify. Him and his brother get a little competitive. So they have to stay for the last duck, the last bit of light, and they forgot that the tide had gone out 200 feet into the river. And if you try and wade through it, you end up in muck past your knees. And so somehow between getting off the island and getting home, Jeremy he probably flipped a coin with his brother, he lost, and waded through the mud flats and didn't want his clothes dirty, so he pulled off everything but his boots. So, anyway, that's one of the two stories. The second one, and let's see, I'll need my other two props, has to do with Jeremy's desire to be a cowboy. He decided one day, him and Kai, if you live in the country and where you didn't watch a lot of TV, you made your own fun. Well, they decided that they wanted to ride a bull. So our uncle next door has a farm and he has a bull. So they said, okay, let's take the lariat and Kai, get the video camera and we're going to see which one of us can ride the bull first and stay on. And I want it videographed because nobody will believe us. So they go over. They tried everything they could think of. Lassoing it, graining them, pretending they were a cow, attracting the bull. But nothing seemed to work. And they do have this on video. So they decided, well, let's go to the cow next. They got to be easier than the bull. That didn't work. The calf didn't work. But I did get a picture of him. And I think it had to do, Vanna, would you go around and show him this, please? I think this is more of what the story was like, with the bull chasing them out of the field. And that was one of his other successes. Now, Eric, I said I wouldn't say anything bad about you, but I have one last thing. Being Lutheran and Scandinavian, I can't end this, at least without telling a joke. And I told my wife this and she hit me. So I'm standing this way. Anyway, there was these two older Norwegian gentlemen named Jeremy and Eric. And it happened to be Eric's 95th birthday. So Jeremy, being the gentleman he is, he says, I got to give Eric one last thrill in his life before he passes on. So he thinks and he says, I got it. I'm going to hire the most beautiful girl in town, who happens to be Lena, And Lena is going to go over and entertain Eric for the evening. So she comes over, knocks on the door, and Eric opens it, sees the most beautiful girl he's ever seen in the whole world, and says to her, "Well, what are you here for?" And she says, "Well, I'm here to give you some super sex." And Eric scratches his head and he goes, "Well, at 95, I think I'll take the soup." That's it.
Thank you, Father, for that rousing rendition of my life. I will retort to some of that here in a while, but I